Hello everybody and welcome back to our weekly streams. My topic today is about scanning TripleTray impressions and the design of the crown afterwards, obviously. First of all, I will let you know, for those people that didn't watch the stream last week, so we have a new dental scan available. It's dental scan 3.3.0. So just ask your resellers or have a look on the Smart Optics homepage to download it if you have one of the latest activation keys. Great, so let's start with the presentation. First of all, we will do the project there in the Dental DB. And things that we need are, of course, the TripleTray or the impression holder. It's you have two parts in your box. That's the first part here, the lower side, and the impression clamp. And this clamp has two magnets on each side, so you can fixate it like this and turn it about 180 degrees to flip the impression directly around. So let's create the project first. We rename it as a TripleTray like this, and let's check my impression. I have tooth number 27, I think. Let's do an anatomic crown, and we have 26 as a neighbor tooth. Same here. And here, 28 is missing, and due to the fact that we have a TripleTray, we have a lower jaw as an antagonist. No indications there, so put it like this. Very important is to choose the scan mode as digital impression, like this, and then we are able to save the project and start with the scanning. So now the dental scan software will open automatically, and the complete job definition will be transported from Exocad directly in the project definition of dental scan. There's only one thing you should choose. It's the scan mode again, and here you can choose between TripleTray and impression scan. And due to the fact that we have the TripleTray, let's choose TripleTray scan. The texture as colored is perfect, I think, and the high resolution scan is enabled. So let's start with the project. And you see that you get 3 scanning tabs, and you always start with the upper jaw in the TripleTray workflow. So let's check how to put in the impression into the holder. So there are different ways to do it. The most important thing is that you put the impression always above the middle plate of the holder. It's not possible to scan it like this. It's out of the measurement field, so always put it directly over the plate. You can put it in this line, or you can put it also like this, but the important thing is directly over this plate. So I like it in this way. So let's start with the upper jaw, and I will put it now into the scanner and can start with my touchscreen. Great. Okay. So as usual, Carsten is also in the stream, and if you have questions or anything else, just ask him. He will give you a comment on your comments, of course. So let's talk a little bit about this scan strategies of TripleTray scanning. So this depends always on the indication that you have. If you have a stump in the side area of a jaw, then we have a special strategy for this, a very big and great strategy. But if you choose a front tooth for example, then you get completely other strategies. So the software, checks the indication and the area of indication to choose the right strategy for each impression that you want to scan, of course. And due to the fact that we have a TripleTray impression, TripleTray impressions are always, I think, these quarter impressions of upper and lower jaw. So in these cases, it's necessary that we follow this workflow, and the next step will be to flip the holder around about 180 degrees. So let's wait for the last pictures here. Just go next, continue. And now it's very important that you just flip the holder around 180 degrees, not to move the impression itself. It's forbidden in this way. So just move the holder around and put it into the scanner again, do the scanning. And if you follow these steps, the TripleTray scan will always get successful, of course. As you saw a few seconds before, I didn't do any cuttings after scanning the upper jaw. It's just, I think, my favorite way. So I would, I do the cutting in the last step after the registration, when I have upper and lower jaw in one STL file. Then I will do the cutting. It's your choice if you want to do the cutting now, but my favorite is to do it as a last step, obviously. So the scan will just take a few seconds, and the registration of upper and lower jaw will be done fully automatically, as usual, as you know it from the dental scan. So the dental scan does all registrations in every cases you can imagine. The software does it fully automatically. So multi-die, articulator scan, TripleTray scan, all are registered completely automatically. I think that's a very unique tool in dental scan, of course. Okay, so now the scanning of the lower jaw should be finished, and the next step, now the cutting, I will do the cutting at the last step. So I just go with continue to the registration, and now my computer works very hard to do the registration correctly. And the registration will always succeed if you move the holder and not the impression itself. It's very important. Okay, so I think just a few seconds. Perfect. Okay, great. So now I have the matched files, and I will choose my cut outwards function. And as you know from my last stream, we have the cutting tool, and I trained a little bit with it, so I'm much better now in cutting. Great. It's a really cool tool to cut these areas away. So I think I'm finished with cutting. It's okay for me. So I will finalize the project with the green button, and then let's continue with the design in Exocad. Hopefully I changed the language of the German stream in the morning. Yes, I did it. Great. So as you know from our last stream, the first steps if you import a digital impression is to adjust the orientation of the jaw scan. So just move the right orientation to your side and click the next button, and then it's finished. And always, if you import some impressions in Exocad, it's possible to edit some areas to cut something away. If you choose the TripleTray scanning, I recommend to do it, because you might have, as like this, as you see it on the screen, you might have some areas that are a little bit doubled in the skin, so I recommend to cut them away. Oh, that was wrong, I missed the double click in the end, like this. I just delete them, because otherwise you have always some intersections in your skin. So please check out that you cut these area ways, okay? And then you can go next, and then the intersections, yes, I just missed some, so recommend to cut them away, obviously, yeah? Okay. Yeah, this is okay, so I should have anywhere an area, I think here in the front, so let's delete it. I don't need this area. Okay, and then next. Great, so now the cutting is done, and yeah, due to the fact that we the impression is not the best one, so it's hard for me to find the correct margin line. So I will draw it now, and yeah, like I think it should be correct, but yeah, could be anyhow like this. But this is not the interesting thing today. Just let me have anything that looks like a margin line here. Great, so I think that's perfect for me now to show you. So just click next, and yeah, now we are generating the crown buttons. And this step I mentioned the last stream also. Please ask your milling center, or if you mill your crowns or your things by yourself, then you know all the parameters better than I. So I just like to skip this step, because these parameters are your personal ones. So I just use the default ones. Let's go in the next step. I can, Exocad asked me to mirror or to copy some tooth. I disline that, so just go next, and then I will get some proposal of Exocad. So if you use the control button and the how is it called? The I missed the word. So the wheel on your mouse, great. So if you move the wheel, you can flip around the bibliotheques of Exocad. So I think, so I like this tool very much, because I can skip and flip around to the right tooth I like one or I want to choose. So it's a little bit hard. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, good work. So I will choose this tooth now. So first of all, we have the initial position now. I can move it a little bit in the right area. So I always look from the front. Anyhow, like this. This will be added automatically. Okay. Okay, so just the initial placement. I will go next, and now I am able to freeform all these parts, to flatten and smooth areas. I always smooth the areas around the margin line. Exactly. And a little bit on the surface of the occlusal surface of the crown itself. And then we are able to move some parts, some cusps or ridges or something like this, depends on you. So I will just leave this crown like it is now. The only thing I need to do is to adapt the occlusal areas and the approximal areas. So I just start with the occlusal one. So let's cut them. Then the approximal areas, cut them also. And now I always go back to my freeform and to smooth these areas a little bit, because I think after cutting the shape will get very sharp in these areas. So I love to flatten these areas again a little bit, and then after flatten I adapt the occlusal plane again. So just my personal way to do it, but I think that works very fine. So okay, the too small. Okay, it's a crown now. Okay, perfect. So just go next, and yeah, now I'm done. So we did the TripleTray scanning of our impression with the design of a crown, and I think this just take, let me have a look, about 10 minutes with explaining. So it's I think it's a very fast way to do the design of some crowns, and if you have an own milling machine, it's a very, very fast workflow, obviously. Yeah. So that's all from my side. Thank you for listening. Leave some comments in the comment line, and yeah, Carsten will be there on Thursday for you at 11 a.m. in the German version and 2 p.m. in the English version. He has a very interesting topic about the Baltic denture system. His presentation will be with Merzental together. So yeah, we would love to see you there in the stream. And otherwise, yeah, thank you for listening, and see you latestly on Monday in the next stream. Bye bye.